And right now is the moment of the show where we get to highlight Jamel's jam and see what he's jamming on this week. And this is also, and this is one of our sections where we get to react to Jamel. And I think this time around there's a lot to react to. So here we go with Jamel's jam. So who do I have the pleasure of talking to today?
Thomas Jackson, COO, President, Co-founder, Par365 Golf.
And is this a partnership with just you alone, or are there other people involved?
Yeah, so it's me and my wife. My wife is the CEO and co-founder, so it's me and her. We are officially the first Black-owned simulator in the Midwest, only the second Black woman-owned simulator in the country, and like I said, I didn't do the research, but probably the world.
Okay, so that comes to the second question. What is Par365?
Yes, Par365 is an indoor golf simulator, bar, restaurant, event center, kind of your one-stop shop, a hangout spot. We like to call it the golf lounge. So we tried to take the idea of most golf indoor simulators and blend that with a little bit of music, a little bit of culture, underlining a vibe of hip hop, and we tried to make it something that would ultimately accomplish our mission, which is to make golf more approachable, more affordable, and more accessible.
So what would you say would be the impression of someone walking in here for the first time? I know what mine was, but what would you want the impression of someone to be walking in here for the first time?
The impression that I want to give is to make golf, and this is really when we lean into that approachability. I'm from the South Side of Chicago. I didn't grow up playing golf. I didn't start playing golf till the pandemic. So when someone walks in here, I don't want it to feel like a country club. I don't want it to feel like a clubhouse. I want it to feel somewhere comfortable. We wanted to go with this kind of upscale jazz vibe that anyone can come in, whether they're avid golfers, whether they've never played before, and they just come in and just say, wow, this is different, this is cool, and I want to hang out here and have fun.
Okay, so when did Par365 become a reality?
So we've been open for about 9 months now. So we opened last January was our grand opening. So this is our first fall. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. But the concept was probably in ideation for about 2 years. Me and my wife were really thinking about the demographic and the love of golf in Minnesota, and how do we create a better community, a more connected community, a more community where people feel like they belong. And as we thought about the idea, as we thought there were no kind of simulators in the surrounding area, as we thought about how big golf is in Roseville, we thought this was the perfect location.
So when you opened that door for the first time and those people started streaming in, what was that like, man?
Oh, it was a great feeling. I mean, really seeing the concept and the vibe come to life. We did a grand opening with one of my favorite DJs here, DJ Jahi. His ear for music is unprecedented. We had people coming in. It was like an open house. People just really came in and enjoyed the space. So I always tell people, as much as we're leaning into golf, the enjoyment, the community, the connection isn't about golf. And that grand opening really showed that. Because you had a lot of people who had never played golf, never really thought about golf in that way. And just seeing the space, having fabulous drinks, we served all samples of our food. It was just a great night and a great experience of what's to come.
So where do you see Par365? You're only 9 months in, and I know that's a short time to start planning for where you're going to go after this, or how far it's going to go, but where can you envision it going?
Yeah, I mean, our vision and our dream is international. I remember the business development of the simulators that we got said, like, what's your goal? And I said, I won't be happy until I see one of these in Ghana. Right, so very specific, very overreaching. You gotta walk before you gotta crawl before you walk. You gotta walk before you run. So we know there's gonna be a lot of steps to that. But when we did our research, we didn't see a concept like this in the nation. And where golf is going and what people are needing for connection and community, especially in the Twin Cities, we see nothing but growth and expansion. How that happens, we don't know, but it's something that our eyes are very focused on with every step that we do in terms of making it a reality.
So let's say I got a family of 4 and I want to come out.
the Par365, bring the kids out. How affordable is Par365?
I think it's very affordable once you think about like bowling and other activities that you do. Our average price ends up being around $55 an hour. During the day, it's cheaper. During off days, it's cheaper. We also do leagues to make it cheaper. So we're trying to keep an eye on that on how we do it. But for a family of 4 coming in for an hour, we have clubs here that don't cost to rent. We have kids clubs here. I think we were very intentional about how to make it affordable, approachable, and accessible for any size family, any size friend group, any age. We really kind of thought it through, and we hope that resonates with the community.
So how often are there leagues running?
So right now we're offering 2 leagues. It's gonna be a
Get in the
Tuesday
hole!
league and also a Wednesday league. They run kind of like that 5:30 to 7:30. If we get enough demand, we can also run a second shift after that. We do an all women's league. So all the leagues, Tuesday and Wednesday, are open. They're co-ed. Anyone can sign up. But we do a women's specific league on Thursdays, and we're trying to build that out. And as well as we're doing what we're calling a women's networking and golf event on Thursdays. So the whole point there is when you say leagues, it sounds competitive. It sounds like you need to know what you're doing. And I can tell you from the leagues I've seen and played in, it couldn't be further from the truth. It really is about connection, camaraderie, and building relationships. So for the women who are already in kind of more what I call professional settings, they're looking to get into golf, they want to know how to golf, we're going to have a coach there. We want to start building this community so they feel like they belong, it's not competitive, they can come in, have a cocktail, meet some other women who are learning to play golf, work with some of our coaches, and really have a great time. So we're really trying to be intentional at every stage to how do we create the bridges. We don't want to just be like, hey, we're golf, come and enjoy it if you know what we're talking about, but we want to explain, we want to take people on that journey.
So if somebody wanted to learn more about golf and come in here maybe and have a few lessons or whatever, do you have people you can recommend, or do you just let them get on the machine? Because I noticed they had an option there for lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of our simulators is especially fitted to do lessons. So it looks at like how people move. It has slow motion cameras to analyze the swing. It can compare your swings to professional swings. We actually just hired a pro who's going to be coming in and doing lessons. I can actually do like lessons for like beginners in terms of how to club, how to stand. So we're trying to kind of think about all walks, all avenues, and all skill levels to say like what's the right fit. I think a lot of times in the golf industry, people will go and they'll try to get the very most decorated PGA professional. But sometimes that person's so used to teaching someone who already knows how to golf that they sometimes miss some of the basics. I think with me picking it up later, I can help some of those beginner golfers just kind of pick up the basics until they get better. And then we'll have options for people who are more experienced golfers to get better. So we're trying to think about it from every angle.
You mean it's like me, you know? I already know I'm going to need some of those lessons.
And we want to be there for you.
And the final question.
Yeah.
I know 9 months in, you probably don't have a lot of downtime. But what's your average, and do you sometimes just get on one of those simulators and go for it?
Yeah, no, I love playing on simulators. I love playing outdoors. I think it complements the style of each one. You can learn a little bit, on the indoor as on the outdoor. And yeah, I absolutely play. There's been times that there's been games. I play with my buddies. Like it really is about playing, friendship, networking, building relationships, building community.
And what's your putting game like?
My putting
it's
game
on
is okay.
point, or
my putting game is okay. I feel like I said, I've only been playing since the pandemic. For me, I do feel like my striking is where I really focus, and then putting is a little bit of an afterthought. But I know to really dial my game in, I have to spend more time putting.
And that was the latest edition of Jamel Jam.
Did y'all like my putting?
Get the ball in the hole. I just wanted the ball to go in.
I did get one though. I got one.
Yeah. And every time you saw him on the simulator.
I don't know if Paul caught it.
Okay, I didn't catch that last part of what you said.
Oh, I said I didn't know if you caught me getting the ball in the hole on camera.
Well, I caught it a couple of times, but we only have one in the video. I wanted to, sort of prove to people that anyone can do
Right.
that golf thing.
Right. Everybody's not. So you can see that I was practicing, and the one thing about that too is have patience, because just because you're not skilled at something right away, it does not mean that if you continue to practice, you will get that skill set.
So Clint, as a resident golf skeptic, what are your thoughts after seeing that video?
What I mean, playing golf, or you're talking about
Yeah.
the interview?
Do you feel like you missed out by not coming out that day?
No.
No.
What about you, Katie?
I mean, I would embarrass myself, but there's always room to do that. I don't know how to play. Like, well, I probably hit the ball and it will bounce off the corner or something because I swing pretty aggressive. I don't know. Like, it's cool that he offers both things, though. Like that he can help for the basics, but also people who are professional. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make myself look like a fool. I'm staying home.
Well, that's what practice is for.
Right.
And this is a point in the show where in the future we will have a moment from the sketch show. We have several things in mind that we're going to be producing, but the idea is to do it right. And if you can't do it right, what's the point? And one of the things that can help us do it right is to get support from you, our audience. And one of the ways that you can like us is by doing one little thing.
Don't cost you nothing to hit that like. Don't cost you nothing. Subscribe. Don't cost you nothing to hit that like. Don't cost you nothing. Go ahead, subscribe. Don't cost you nothing to hit that like. Don't cost you nothing. So hit that like and subscribe. So hit that like and subscribe. So hit that like and subscribe. Don't cost you nothing.
Don't cost you nothing to hit that like and subscribe. And now, just to make sure that it sticks, here is the second rendition of TCIP Radio.